Hello everyone and welcome to the Good Game Lobby review of Babushka's Glitch Dungeon, a puzzle platformer with exploration and Metroidvania elements that make for a glitch-filled adventure. Pets Club 2, the studio, or Jake as I know him, is an indie developer who has made one of the most unique, odd, witty, and fun games of the year. It gets compared to Animal Well very often, and rightfully so. It's a Metroidvania-styled platformer with hidden elements, pixel artwork, and a trippy gameplay. The thing that makes it stand out is the truly glitchy premise. Let's get into the story. Babushka, which means grandma, is our protagonist. She's doing her chores and sweeping when she encounters these neon glitches and starts to sweep them away. That's when she falls into her basement that she didn't even know existed, and the hijinks begin. It's what you discover while down there that makes this a story to remember. Before we get into the gameplay, I want to thank you all for the support of the channel. We're a month away from the 1 year of reviews for the channel and almost at 1,000 subscribers, which is a dream come true for me. Thank you for liking and commenting and subscribing. Your support helps me get more games to review and share with the community. Thanks again. Okay, let's get back to the gameplay. Babushka spends her time tidying up her basement of weird and odd rooms full of glitches. You know the room is clean once you get a notification at the top that everything is tidy, but that comes with the caveat because you're also to rid the area of bosses, 5 of which you will encounter in the game. But before we talk about the bosses, let's get into the main gameplay. What starts as sweeping away glitches becomes an adventure where you acquire unique abilities, or hag magic as it's called. They add to the madness of this underground world. The first ability lets you jump higher and float across the screen, getting those hard to reach glitches cleaned up. The second one you're introduced to is one of my favorites. You're given the ability to walk off the edge of a platform and continue to walk as if an invisible platform extends, only dropping when you jump. This gives you a chance to truly find new areas and hidden places across the rooms you explore. It's when you're introduced to the fact that you can combine these that the movement makes Babushka truly unstoppable. You also get the ability to walk through enemy glitches unharmed, and another great one that lets you walk up walls. You spend time collecting orbs around each room and using all the skills introduced to get to them in hard to reach places. You need to be aware of enemy glitches that can harm you, or these moving squares that will take away all your abilities. Navigating around them or hitting enemies with your broom is your main fighting mechanic. You'll later unlock the ability to throw your broom out and hit enemies, and even teleport to where your broom flies. This is the coolest grandma you will ever meet, compared to your real-life grandma who is probably cool as hell, or was. Pour one out for the grannies no longer with us. Which brings me to the fact that you don't really die, in a sense that you have to start all over. You get hurt and end up back at a save point or the start of the room, which to be honest is a blessing in disguise and hilarious to see, having died 100 plus times by the end of the level. Okay, let's get into the visuals. This is where Babushka's Glitch Dungeon truly stands out from other pixel art games. It's a glitch dungeon, so every aspect of the game complements glitches in the design. When picking up new abilities, moving on to new rooms, defeating enemies, turning into a chicken, and more, you're met with squares of the level design randomizing and moving in odd ways. The errors are not hidden here, and they're shown in full display. The short animated intro gives us a preview of the adorable Babushka, even at one point reminding me of 4 swords with the different colored clothes she has on. The boss designs are so rad in the way they behave around the rooms, adding difficulties and being 2D, but also 3D in movement. The world comes off dark and spooky, but the colorful characters you meet and glitches add enough of a colorful splash to make them loud and vibrant. Oh boy, the sound design is truly a masterpiece here. Entering rooms, the text scroll, getting hurt, or collecting items have been so carefully crafted that each interaction is a delight. Sound design in gaming is typically great with how games are made nowadays, and when it's presented in Babushka's Glitch Dungeon, it feels perfectly crafted to every piece of the experience. Sadly, I wanted to share a link to the soundtrack, but Jake is trying to set that up now. He's commissioned the soundtrack over 3 years ago, so with hope, the original composer can get back to him because every song slaps, as the kids say. Boss battles have this great, faster-paced, odd-sounding track, and the new areas stand out in new song style. But one in particular is just my jam. And the way it starts is a lo-fi beat style, but builds into this synth-layered perfection, growing more and more. Take a listen. The best part of doing this work is that you can stumble on a solo developer on social media sharing their work, asking for feedback from the community, and giving a behind-the-scenes look at what ultimately becomes one of your favorite games of the year. It took me roughly 2+ hours to complete the main game, with I believe it taking an additional 2 to 3 to get to 100%. You know what's a win for everyone? The community provided feedback about the price possibly being too high, and Jake immediately took that into account and dropped the price to $5.99. A more than reasonable price point for such a fantastic experience. Babushka's Glitch Dungeon is one of the best collaborative efforts in indie gaming. When the credits rolled, Jake has included every single piece of artwork, sound effect, or coding that he used, borrowing from other creators in the space. It's a who's who smorgasbord of indie devs and artists that come together in a perfectly glitchy experience. The exploration, the character designs, and dialogue are all hilarious. The puzzles are fun and inventive in a way that progressively became more difficult but felt so rewarding when solved. The design and premise alone are a standout you must experience to truly understand what Jake has put together. I didn't experience any bugs, but even if I did, I don't think I would have ever even known. In true glitchy fashion, I lost half of the game footage I was recording for the review to some corruption of the video file. This has nothing to do with the game, but kind of fitting, right? The wild part, I went back into the game just to record the song to show you earlier in the review. And I saw a bunch of updates to the game and ended up playing for additional hour and a half almost too, collecting orbs and exploring around. Babushka's Glitch Dungeon is inventive, hilarious, and a trippy culmination of a solo dev's connection to his grandma. My grandma is an OG in that my parents never once played video games with me, but my Babushka would sit down and shred Super Mario on NES. She's 80 plus now, and I would not be surprised if she could still play it and complete a level with ease. She wears her veil the same as Babushka in the game and legit looks like her, so it felt like I was playing as my own grandma here. The game's mechanics, design, and glitchy nature make for an experience as rewarding and puzzling at times. It has so many hidden ways and speedrunning opportunities, so it makes for great replayability. Babushka's Glitch Dungeon is a fantastic indie game and must play for me, making it one of the best releases of 2025. Thanks to Jake for providing the key for the review, though I would have gladly paid for a copy. In fact, if you're still watching this far, comment and let me know if you're interested, and I'll pick someone at random to give a copy of the game to. Thanks for watching the review. Want to check out another secretive platforming and odd world? Then why not see my top 10 of 2024 on your left, where I go through the experience with Animal Well, or check out the full playlist of games I reviewed so far this year on your right. Thank you so much for the support. We're so close to hitting that 1,000 subscribers like I mentioned earlier. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and as always, GG.